Fez, time to talk a little movies. It's Polo.
From the legendary Warner Fez Studios in a predominantly white neighborhood, Warner Fez presents Showtime with the Polo.
Yeah, Polo, you like some movie.
Polo, you like some movie. How are you today, sir?
Polo, you like some movie.
How are you? I'm happy to hear that there are new champions coming up all the time with the eating. That's good. Because they don't want to wind up like me eventually, of course, because I'm a former champion.
What did you eat, Polo?
Oh, it was over there with ballots and the drinking eating contest.
Yeah.
What happens is you strip your esophagus and your stomach lining eventually. It's just...
Yeah, well, our eating and drinking contest of the old days would just be really more about drinking and some food on the side.
Something to wash down the shots with.
I remember that one time I had the 10 pounds of ravioli with the 2 gallons of milk, and you kept saying you couldn't drink a gallon of milk because it turns to something in your stomach, and I remember those old things, yeah. But that never bothered me. But I'm glad to see the young people are coming up. That's good.
All right, Paula, what do you got to talk about this week in the movie?
Okay, you got 4 new movies. You got the Golden Globes. It's up to you, however you want to go. You got the Elektra. You've got In Good Company. You got Coach Carter. You got Racing Stripes. These are what the studios are giving us.
This In Good Company. I don't know if I've seen a film advertised more since Along Came Polly. This commercial is on.
Well, that isn't that far away. That's only like 6 months.
But this commercial is on TV every 2 seconds, and I know we're playing it here at the radio station too.
And it's a nice film. It's by Paul Weitz, who did the American Pie movies, but he's going in a different direction now. He did that Hugh Grant movie a couple of years ago with About a Boy. So he's doing more mature comedies as opposed to the Pie movies, doing things to pies. And this is a good movie. It's about Dennis Quaid, old guy, corporate culture. Topher Grace is the young guy who is successful and being pushed through the corporate scheme and becomes his boss.
It just looks awful, huh?
Yeah, it's nice movie, but nothing exciting. Absolutely not. I don't know why.
Is there anything worth seeing this weekend?
Coach Carter, if you want to impress, the kids. Look, let's face it. Kids are having it rough. They need a role model, and Coach Carter is a role model. He wants them to understand. Maybe, as a matter of fact, if anybody should see this movie, I think everybody in the NBA should see this movie, so they can get back to understanding what the game is about.
You would take Ron Artest to see this movie.
I think, because that's what it's about. It's about, being disciplined, learning, and not being a greedy.
All right, what else is out, Polo?
You've got Racing Stripes. Mm-hmm. Complete garbage.
No.
Tons of big famous people. Waste of talent.
What else, Paul?
Elektra.
Any good there?
The easiest thing I can say is if you're going to see a movie, go see The House of Flying Daggers. If you're going to see a movie about a woman throwing daggers.
That's horrible. A good point. I've already seen my woman throwing daggers movie for the year.
You've got your fill.
All right, so what else you got, Polo? The Golden Globes this weekend?
Golden Globes.
You want to make some predictions for us?
It's very hard because there's a lot of wind shifting right now. You're going in every direction. You've got, Sideways has been winning every award, and I think there's a backlash starting to form.
Yeah, I think there's a backlash, too, where even friends of mine who love the film are going, I'm starting to hate it. And I go, you didn't go see it anymore. Why would you start to hate it?
And, I've always liked the film, but I've always been holding back. I've always been hesitant to say, a film like this any other year would have been ignored. For some reason, the momentum went all its way.
Well, everybody was looking for every year now seems to get to be that one little independent film. Like last year when you even look at Lost in Translation, it was a nice little film, but no reason that everybody should have been talking like this is the Oscar winner over the big studio films. And that's the way I see Sideways. It's a nice little film. I really enjoyed it. But I don't know if I would be putting it above everything else.
Right. So, the winds could be blowing anyway. The only sure thing, I think Sideways is definitely going to win its category, but, as far as Oscar time, I couldn't tell you. Jamie Foxx clearly can do no wrong right now. He's up for 3 awards, and nobody wants to fool with him.
When is this, Sunday night?
Sunday night.
All right, so you got Jamie Foxx picking up Best Actor.
Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor.
Would you pick, seriously, Jamie Foxx or Jamie Farr? Who's a better actor?
Jamie Foxx. He's a very good actor.
I'm stunned.
But the better question is which Eddie Murphy imitator is the best? Is it Martin Lawrence? Is it Jamie Foxx? or someone else.
You know, it's a really good point. All those guys are kind of doing Eddie Murphy.
And I think the important thing is that Martin Lawrence has not shown any dramatic acting chops yet. Jamie Foxx has, and now he's the man this year.
So you're thinking Martin Lawrence could be the next Jamie Foxx?
If Jamie Foxx takes a misstep, then Martin Lawrence can step in.
All right, so that's what you're picking on the Golden Globes, that somehow Martin Lawrence is going to come past Jamie Foxx.
No. I mean, the categories, it's hard to pick. I mean, $1 Million Baby's got its people theater.
Hey, Bobo.
Yeah.
You got a hot dog eating song?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, it's how about a hot dog? How about 2 hot dogs? How about 3 hot dogs? They're pretty small. How about another one? How about another one? How about another one? They're pretty small.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Bobo. So what were you saying, Paulo, about hot dogs?
You know, the thing that I don't get about the hot dogs is...
No, movies. You're doing movies.
The movies, the Golden Globes. It's the race to the Oscars. And this is all we care about.
What's your pick for Best Picture at the Golden Globes?
Okay, I'm going to have to go and say Sideways is a comedy, so that wins the comedy. And then
comedy and or musical.
Right, and then I'm going to say The Aviator over $1 Million Baby.
I'm going to say that they are going to give it to Jim Carrey's movie over Sideways.
That would be wild.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen.
And, you know, I've noticed a lot of popular sentiment behind that movie, too. And you know, that was my favorite movie, so I'm really...
You know, I just rewatched it last week, and it is a great movie. I mean, it's different from any movie I've ever seen in my life. It's more like a dream. It's like a wacky dream than even watching a movie.
And I couldn't agree more.
It seems like you have no energy tonight, Paulo, and you don't want to be doing this.
I'm not saying that. It's just I always feel bad whenever there's a big event going on like this hot dog thing.
Like you should be here.
In a way, it's not even that I should be here, but in a way, it makes me nervous to step in the middle of it. You know, knowing exactly what's going on.
All right, so you're feeling like, instead of it being Paulo time, it's just Paulo before the hot dog event time.
Kind of.
You're just on the second stage, the side stage.
I'm perfectly willing to be a tool in any way that I can, but you know, in some ways, I don't know how I can aid the hot dog thing at all.
I understand. That's why we would have you talk about film or awards. John, you're on with Paulo.
Yeah, I wanted to ask if you thought Coach Carter's probably a good movie to go see. I heard it was probably good.
What do you think, Coach Carter? Should he go see it this weekend, Paul?
It's long. It's over 2 hours.
I don't know why they do that with a movie.
And it's basically Stand and Deliver and all those movies about inspiring the young kids.
Here's what I understand, Fez. Why can't you watch a movie for more than 2 hours?
It's too long for me to sit there.
You sit and watch a football game at my house, you'll be there for 8 hours, and you won't move out of your seat.
Maybe if movies had half times.
And the movie is not so much about basketball. It's about
life.
Well, it's about life. You're not going to be an NBA star, son. You know. So, am I asking too much if you get a 2.3 grade average? Is that really asking? And it's a true story. Everybody got all angry at him because he locks the gym. He forfeits the game because they.
Is this based on Carter Country from the 70s?
No.
That was a good show.
Strangely enough, the White Shadow, one of the actors from the White Shadow directed it, and he's also named Carter for no relation.
Which one?
I don't remember the
Salami?
name.
Did Salami do it?
I think his
I used to love the White Shadow. I thought it was a great show.
And I mean, it's about education, and that, you know, these kids think that they're all going to be big stars, they're going to be big rappers, big NBA stars, and it's not going to happen. And then look what happens when they become big stars. They become louts.
Not all of them. A couple have, but most of them are very good citizens.
It's about values.
Don't be a racist, Paul.
I'm not being a racist. I'm not being a racist.
Why aren't you attacking white
money.
people?
I mean, money corrupts. I'm sorry.
What about absolute money?
Absolutely, it corrupts absolutely.
All right, so what are you pushing for? More of a communist or even socialist state?
It's not about this. Yeah, it wouldn't be bad if the rich people shared a little on their own. But do you see that happening a lot? Some of them seem to.
Maybe we take torches to their houses, and maybe we force them to share. Maybe it's time for revolution. Is that your review?
I don't think that's a good thing to say at all.
You say you want a revolution, and we all want to change the world.
No, I'm not recommending it.
Well, let's talk about destruction. Can we count you out or in?
I'm saying, here, there's all these kids.
Is it going to be all right?
These kids come from poor circumstances, and this is all they have. They're one shot, and then the education, and somebody needs to go out and help. And I know there are some rich people who help, like Barbara Streisand or somebody.
Well, why don't you wait and see how Tsunami Aid turns out tomorrow night on NBC?
Why don't we do this? Why don't we see that if we have poor neighborhoods and we teach the kids to sell dope, and just enough till they get out of there. They're selling crack or they're selling whatever they need.
Till they have the money?
Yeah. The money and dreams. They need dreams.
If I won a lot of money, if I won the lottery and had like $40 million or something, I would start a little farm for the poor and would
a poor farm,
a mentoring.
You would raise poor people.
No one ever wants to go to the poor farm.
No,
what would they be doing? Plowing for you?
No, they wouldn't have to plow. It would be like a mutual society where we learn from each other. You know, we learn skills.
Oh, like gay camp.
It's not a gay camp. I think Don Imus did something like this. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, Don Imus is taking kids with cancer and tying a plow to them, and they have to pull it.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with tying a plow to them. If it gets
not as bad as what Michael Jackson did, I guess.
I'd rather be with Michael Jackson being touched than being at that farce of cancer camp that Imus puts together.
Out in Dust Bowl?
First of all, how'd you like to be a kid? You have cancer, you're already feeling sick. Then you got to look at that while you're eating.
I'm just saying, it's wholesome. You know, you're with me.
I know, but when you're queasy, you don't want someone putting you on a horse.
It's
Bernard.
It's human contact. It's animal contact. It's good. It's a good thing.
What's this got to do with movies, Paul?
I'm just saying.
Who's hosting the Golden Globes?
Coach Carter is helping the kids, and that's what it's about. It's about helping the kids.
What's the name of this movie?
Coach Carter.
And it stars Vince Carter.
No, it's not. No, it's Samuel L. Jackson.
Sergeant.
It's about the Globetrotters, right?
It's not about the Globetrotters.
White people are so scared of black people.
There are white people in this college, in this high school. They're white kids.
And you know it's fake. All right, Polo.
Yes.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. I'm sorry I screwed up the hot dog eating exhibition.
Yeah. How's the wife doing, Paul?
I was worried about her tonight, and I told him that earlier, but because she slept. She was up all night ripping the house apart. Then she slept all day, and then I thought she'd be up all night again, but I got the drugs back in her, so she's fine.
So she's back down again.
She's back down. Was very nervous for a while.
Just tearing up the house like the Hulk.
I think I am going to do the next break from the Buzz Cave. Because I'm looking at him with all these hot dogs, and I just have a feeling he's going to choke, and I don't want to be close to it. Look how many hot dogs. That is to go in one gullet. That's a sick. 15 hot dogs is disgusting.
That is 3 platefuls there.
Yes.
And it wouldn't be so bad without the buns, but you got to soak the buns in water.
Should we try it?
Disgusting.
Why don't you eat all the hot dogs before you even start on the buns?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, because the buns have actually gotten kind of stale. I didn't know it happened so quickly. They've only been sitting out for like an hour or so.
And Brian, could you make me a couple extra?
Oh, there's plenty upstairs.
Oh.
I know, I'm kind of starving even looking at it.
They smell good.
Why don't you just eat 13 hot dogs and give me one of Dove's one?
There's, like I said, there's fresher ones
Bez?
upstairs.
I'd love a dog, please.
All right, now you're down to 12.
Well, there's actually,
See how fast they're going?
there's actually like 19, I think.
Let's see if we could all eat them.
There's 18 or 19.
You're not putting mustard on them, just having them plain?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to mess around with anything extraneous, you know. It's about the eating, not the flavor.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, all
That's
that
true.
room ketchup takes up.
You know, I always get caught up in, the little things. That's my problem. I'm all about the bling.
Yeah.
That's my problem all the time. Hey, Paulo?
Yes.
So if you could only pick one film, you don't have one film that you're rooting for this year? That's your film or your actor, or that would just make your year to see somebody win?
Kate Winslet.
For
either film, Eternal Sunshine or Finding Neverland.
I'm going to tell you the truth, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I wasn't the biggest Finding Neverland fan there. Fez, anybody you're really rooting for this year?
You know what? I would like to see Johnny Depp pick up something this year.
But doesn't he always? Isn't he big or no?
No, I mean, he finally got nominated for playing that pirate. I didn't agree with that, but I wouldn't mind seeing him win.
For Finding Neverland?
And it was a beautiful performance. It was very.
I didn't care much for it.
It wasn't over the. It was controlled, very nicely done.
Controlled meaning dull and just quiet.
And Scorsese with this Aviator.
I don't know if he's going to get it. And you know what? The thing is, I don't know whether it'll be fair if he gets it. I don't think it was his best work. Did you see it?
You know what? I honestly haven't seen any of these. I got to get to work on my Oscar movies.
Yeah, the Oscar movies by now. What?
Yeah. Susan, you're on with Paulo.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Just wanted to know, what is wrong with Paula's wife? Is she allegedly bipolar?
What is the problem there, Paulo?
Well, are you in the field?
Yeah.
I'm bipolar myself.
Oh,
what do you do, honey, as a bipolar chick?
Allegedly, she is, but she's manipulative too, so she could be manipulating the bipolar.
What happens to you, Susan, when you're bipolar?
Well, when he said tearing the house up, I'll stay up till, and I won't sleep for 3 or 4 days and just clean my house.
So hot.
I mean, I'm with toothpicks on the grout and cleaning like a crazy person.
All right, now, Mrs. Paulo, she may be up all night, but she ain't cleaning that dump.
No, it's more a confused state of sleeplessness and alcohol and drugs.
Like an animal?
And,
like a wounded animal all night?
No, not
just
so.
Pacing.
No, more like
Morley Safer.
Yes.
Is it like sleeping with Morley Safer?
It's just not the same person. So it's
Susan, she also has fits of rage. Do you get those?
No, it sounds like she's got some sort of anxiety disorder.
Well, we found out that the Xanax and the alcohol is a very bad mix.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't think
here comes the manic part.
And
if you read the little label on the bottle, you would think that.
No, Susan, do you also kind of put a sexual addiction with it?
I don't do that. No, I spend money. I don't.
Yeah, if I told you guys how much money she spent in the last 3 years, you have no idea.
I would guess $25 all on clothes.
What's the biggest thing she bought?
No, I'm talking about a lot of money.
What's the biggest thing she bought on you, Paulo, without you knowing?
I could just tell you that there were $10,000 credit card monthly bills, for nothing.
Yeah, and you don't even know until you see the credit card.
Yeah.
Wow, did you go crazy?
I went crazy for like every month, and now we're getting it under control. Literally, like at the brink of a cliff. It was like a car racing out of control.
So if she has one more episode like this, she could bankrupt.
Exactly. It's getting to that point.
Where suddenly you're going to go home and she's got an elephant in the backyard. Paul, look what I bought for us.
Actually, that's just her in the backyard.
Oh, that's mean.
That was wrong. And she's very.
I wish you the best of luck in getting.
Yeah, I mean, but the Lexapro. Have you heard of the Lexapro?
Yes.
And that is what.
Do you have any to clip over her of her going crazy, Paulo's wife, or is it on this side? Susan, you got to hear this woman when she gets really bad. Now, sometimes she's nice. This is what she talks like.
Paul's really great. Paul's great.
That was her when she was like really nice on drugs.
Okay.
And here she is when she's at her worst. See if this reminds you.
The worst that you've seen.
Yeah, the worst that we've seen. Yeah. And I mean, there's been nights, Paulo, that we were worried after we hung up that you would be killed. Because she just goes insane. All right, here she goes.
Those f***ing sons of f***ing goddamn garbage!
That's what she calls us.
I want those bastards put in jail!
That's what she wanted us in jail.
I think she's just got a problem with alcohol.
Get them off the phone! They came to my house!
Obviously, he gives a shit more about you than anybody else.
He's got the same voice as those Pittsburgh Steelers song singers.
Obviously, he gives a shit more about you than anybody else.
So she gets a little crazy, Susan.
Yeah, well, it sounds like she's a drunk.
Well,
no, it's beyond just drunk.
Harsh word. I mean, I don't think you want to be called names either, but...
No, I'm sorry.
She self-medicates.
Yeah,
that's her problem, Susan. She self-medicates.
She's an alcoholic, which is different.
Yeah.
Because it's somebody who, understands that they have a problem but can't really beat it. And then she feels it helps her sleep, so she'll mix it with certain things. And sometimes the mixtures aren't that successful.
Well, is she under the care of a doctor?
A number of them. A large litany, yeah.
Do they all know about each other, the different doctors?
Kind of. Some, not, no.
Yeah, because you can play games with the doctors like that.
The gyno quit the business.
Thanks, Susan. Here is Rick. Rick, you're on Run and Fez.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good, man.
Hey,
Paulo.
Yeah.
You said your wife the alcohol and the Xanax thing didn't work out too well. I went through that myself. I'm an alcoholic and recovering alcoholic.
Hi, Rick.
But
you would think that Xanax is supposed to calm you down,
exactly.
right?
But when the doctor said when you're pounding beers and eating Xanax all day long, it's not going to work for you. So.
That's when she's at her worst.
I never knew anybody who took downs that didn't have a surly side to them and be angry a little bit. Be cranky.
But you said now she takes Lexapro? Because the doctor just put me on Lexapro.
Yeah, Lexapro's been great. It's just great. I mean, I'd be happy to be a spokesman.
Obviously, he gives a more about you than anybody else.
There's the spokesman.
I guess there's hope for me, too.
They came to my house! Get him off the phone! I want those bastards put in jail!
And the funny thing is...
And sons of f***ing goddamn garbage!
That was one of her better nights.
He always says that she needs to record me because I'm so out of line.
He's at my bottom.
All right. Hey, thanks, guys.
That wasn't her.
All right, Polo,
All right.
We got to take a break.
I understand.
We'll be right back. Coming up, it'll be F'th Company on the show, and an eating champion coming up in just a few moments. It's the Ron and Fez Show.